Hot takes. It's been in my mind for a really long time. But I really want to talk about it in a longer form than 60 seconds and in a way that is calm and relaxed, but at the same time, I can get a message across. And that is, so many people are life coaches. And they all expect to get paid for it. And I just don't get it. Everyone's a life coach. Everyone's a motivational speaker. Everyone is that. And for me, it's tough to understand how people can garner the audacity and also the ignorance to believe that they have such this great base, huge knowledge of psychology, being a life coach, and yet people think that they're psychologists for people and they don't know about psychology. And it just kind of blows my mind. It's confusing, but at the same time totally understandable, because we often do things that we think that we're fully capable of, even though we don't really have the full story, and we haven't really read our books, we don't really have the knowledge yet. And that's kind of where I'm coming from, because there's so many life coaches and motivational speakers out there who don't even know who Carol Dweck is, or who Greg Walton is, or even who Angela Duckworth is, some of the best and most well-known psychology researchers in the world. They don't know who they are, and they still proclaim themselves to be motivational speakers, life coaches, people who know about psychology, the mental side of life. And they believe that they garner all of this knowledge and this ability to help others from their own life experiences. And sure, that could be the case, but at the same time, your own life experiences don't generalize across the board. And the way that we live in our personal lives don't generalize to everyone across the world, period. And it's audacious to believe that the thoughts and the beliefs that we have, and when someone goes out and says, I'm a life coach, I am a motivational speaker, and things like that, without the ability to say, I have studied, I've read, I've seen things, I understand from the research literature that this is what it is, from what we've seen in studies, from what we've seen in different qualitative collections that we have throughout history, in the field of psychology, what all of that is based on. And I think that it's something we lack. We really need to take a step back and say, what is a life coach? What is psychology? What should it be used for? How can we garner who has the merit and who's valid or not? And I think that that's something that we need to address. We look on Instagram, we look on Twitter, we look on Facebook, and even Snapchat now. We look on all social media, and all we see are life coaches, people who have the answer, people who have, you'll be able to get your life together if you pay $1,000 for this 5-week course. And it's audacious. I would say ignorant. And at the same time, it's just not true. And I think that so many people say that they have the answer for everyone, right? But everyone has their own unique answer. And all of that comes from psychology. And if you haven't read up well, if you haven't done the work, if you haven't done the research, if you haven't participated in the research, if you haven't, talked to people who are involved in this stuff, if you haven't learned from them, if you haven't put yourself under someone who's an expert in the field and said, what can I learn from you? If you haven't done a number of those things that I just listed, I don't know how someone can go out there and say with validity, and to be able to say, like, this is something you can trust. And to say to someone, I'm a life coach or I'm a motivational speaker. You should listen to me. You should pay me for the words that come out of my mouth. And it blows my mind, to say the least. And this is a hot take. There's so many life coaches on Instagram, so many people on social media who are saying, I have the solutions for you mentally. And I just can't trust it, especially when they're asking for your money. I don't know. It's tough for me to understand and to say that, you should trust that person, unless they have that base, those experiences, that knowledge, real knowledge, and an understanding of the field and where it is and where it's been and where it's going. And it's difficult, and that's why I would never say I'm a motivational speaker. I would never say a thing as I'm a life coach. I just couldn't, not with the connotations that it comes with, and not with the way that it is and what it means when we see it on social media. And it's difficult for me to kind of think about it and say, is this really where my field is? Is this where my field is going? When I think about it, I'm kind of concerned, but at the same time, always optimistic, because I know that, in the end, the truth always wins, and the people who have the knowledge, the people who do the best work are going to get, the recognition they deserve. They're going to, do the best. And I confide in that. But at the same time, when I think about this stuff, it's tough to see kind of the state of where it is. But yeah, this is my hot take. I just can't trust a life coach or a motivational speaker on Instagram unless they have some of the criteria that I've listed. Having research experiences, having done research, having read up really well, having met and knowing the names of who's doing this stuff right now, being up to date on where psychology is. All these things are important, and these are things that we should really pay attention to. And if you're a life coach or if you're a motivational speaker, I really hope you can reflect on this. This isn't a bash on you, but it's something we should all be thinking about. So thanks for your time, and hopefully be back with more hot takes.